6 months ago, it took us 2 hours to produce one set of creative variations. Now, we can produce 10 variations in 20 minutes. And the 20 outperformed the 1, and that's not hype. That's what AI has helped us change. Today, I'm going to show you what's actually different with clinical advertising now that AI is in the mix. We'll talk about what matters, what doesn't matter, and how you can use AI to maximize your campaign. And so if you're new here, all we do is talk about how to scale health and wellness clinics to $200,000 a month or more through marketing and advertising execution. We've been running AI-assisted campaigns across hundreds of clinics now for over a year, and so I'm going to share with you what we've learned in the process. And if you've been here before on the channel, welcome back. This video is going to show you how to think differently about AI creative testing. So here's what AI actually changed. It isn't about quality, it's about volume. AI has made it economically viable to test 10x the number of creatives in an ad campaign, which allows us to find winners much quicker for our clients. Now, before AI, you would probably test, anywhere from 1 to 4 ad variations. Okay. And what you would do with these is then you would find the winner. And then on the next campaign, you would basically take that winner and then you would multiply it. You'd use different angles over here. Okay. And basically what you were doing is you were looking to just find more of the same. So back in the day, you could take one hook, we'll call it hook A. And if it was a winner, you could repeat that hook over and over. Okay. And now with the whole paradigm change of not only AI, but also Meta's Andromeda update, this style no longer works of taking one hook and just repeating it across time. That is gone. Now what we're doing is we're taking ads and we're running quite literally 20 variations of ads. Okay. And by the way, when I say variations, these are different angles, pain points, emotional triggers, everything in between. And so when you're able to test 20 or more variations, the compounding effect of your campaigns is absolutely massive. Because what's happening now is that it's not about just having one angle. It's about having a diverse set of angles. So with AI, we can actually take the winning ad, feed it back into the AI, and then the AI is going to produce, again, like that 15 to 20 different variations. So here's what I want you to take away is that the more variations of ads that you test in the current marketplace of advertising, the faster you will get better results. And so creative testing now is not about, again, just finding the winner and doing it over and over. Okay, let's say A. Now it's just about running 20 ads. And then what you do is you kill off losers. So kill losers. And then you scale winners. And so with AI in the mix, you're able to pump out 3 to 5 times as much creative as you were previously. Now, let me be absolutely clear in saying that most clinics think this. They think, okay, I have on my team a copywriter. And now what I can do is I can fire this person and I can save money. And I would argue that saving money, although that might be a little bit of an advantage, that is not the actual main upside that we're looking for. In fact, with AI copywriting, you're not really looking to save money, although again, you can. What you're looking is for performance increase. And why does that increase occur? Is because the speed at which you can test different ads has massively decreased, okay? If before we were able to test ads, let's say, again, we were testing 5 ads a week, and it took us 2 hours. Now we can test 20 ads per week, and it takes us 1 hour. So we quite literally cut our time in half, and we quadrupled our production. That's how you need to be thinking about this stuff, guys. Not so much like the cash savings, but more of the performance improvement. Now, let me share with you what separates good prompting from garbage prompting. See, most people, they have garbage. And their garbage prompt is they basically will go to some, AI, we'll just say chat right now, and they'll basically say, write me 5 scripts for my laser lipo offer. And then they'll get some output, okay? And this is what's called garbage prompting, because there's no actual context. So the biggest thing that you have to think about is context. Okay? How can I give this bot as much context as humanly possible? Let me give you some examples of context that we use for our clients. Okay? We will do one, market research, to where we actually understand the demographics of the market that we're targeting, the people in the market that we're targeting, and ultimately the avatars and offers that we're trying to promote for the business. Now, the second thing that we do outside of market research is avatar. So avatar research, that's basically understanding the person that you are trying to attract in the business. So market research is, what are the demographics? How competitive are we? What are all the viabilities within this market? Okay. Avatar research is understanding the buyer, understanding the person at a deep level. That means that you have to understand their problems, their circumstances, and their outcomes. What are the problems they have today? What are the circumstances that are resulting because of those problems? And then what are the outcomes they look to achieve with your solution? Okay, the next thing that you want to do for context is you want to design the output. What does that mean? That means that when you tell this bot with a garbage prompt to just give you some scripts, they're not going to format it so it's easy to execute the scripts. If you're doing a video script and it's all one large paragraph, that's tough to execute. So what you do is you tell this bot that, hey, listen, every time that you produce a campaign for me, I want you to design the output, meaning that my video scripts all have paragraph breaks between each line. That makes it easier for the actor to actually say the script into their phone or to the camera and read it line by line instead of trying to have them memorize the whole script. Okay, you can also tell it, hey, for each one of my campaigns, I want X number of copies. Okay, you have to have add copy to test. You also need X number of headlines. Okay, so with just these three things, you're now able to get a much better output from the bot. So what you do is you give all of this information to the bot in the form of context, okay? And then from there, you can give the bot a basic prompt like we saw with the garbage prompts. And as a result, it'll take all of the things that you just gave it in its knowledge base and it will produce a better output. So to be clear, we have some bots that we've designed that have, anywhere from 1 to 10 different assets that we've included in the bot, from market research to avatar research, to really give that bot the most upside potential at producing a very relevant copy and script for the offer that we're running. And so at the end of the day, your prompt should not be like you're ordering fast food. You should look at your prompt as you're going to a nice restaurant. You're putting in your order. You're very specific on the menu items that you want in terms of the appetizers, in terms of the actual main courses, finally dessert. You're going to get waited on. It's really like kind of a curated experience. That's how you have to look at the bot prompting, because most people are acting like they're at McDonald's, okay? They go to the bot, and then they're like, give me this. They want some output. And then without any context, it gives them an output that is actually not that good because the bot doesn't have a lot of information. And then they run it as an ad, and then they get poor results. Okay, and it's not because the bot did a bad job, it's because you did not give it the context that it needs to produce a favorable output. And so if right now you're watching this and you're like, man, like my team needs work, okay? Like our team is not, following these best practices. We need ideas on how to implement these systems to actually create better outputs for our campaigns. I'll leave a link below. We help our clients in a few different ways. We can do hands-on deals where we come in and we do this stuff for you. Or if you have someone on your team who needs a little bit of education and knowledge, we can come in and do a skill transfer to them and teach them how to do all this stuff that I'm talking you through at a very deep level inside of one of our programs. So I'll leave the links below. We have I'll leave the links below. We have our Inner Circle offer, which is our accelerator program. And then we also have our educational component, which is called Master Clinical Marketing. So feel free to check those out if any of this is resonating. And your team might need a little bit of assistance as well. Now let's talk about how we actually go through and split test on campaigns. Okay, so we'll talk about old split testing versus the new split. Okay, So let's begin with the old. So the old way was basically you had like a combination. Think about all this stuff as like a matrix, okay? So you had a combination. So you might have something that's like this. You might have add one, which is like a creative. So let's just actually call it creative one. So we'll call it creative one, creative two, creative three, creative four, creative five. You have 5 different creatives, okay? Now you have copies or the written portion of the ad, okay? So this is column 1 of your matrix. This is column 2. And then we'll talk about 3 as well. So column 2 is your copy. So you have copy 1, copy 2, copy 3, 4, and 5. And then you have your headline. So headline 1, H2, H3, H4, H5. So now what you would do is you're like, okay, I'm going to take my creative and copy 1 and headline 1, and that's add 1. And then I'm basically going to I'm going to duplicate that. I'm going to take creative 1, copy 2, headline 2. Now you have add 2. Okay. This is actually the slow way to do this. Because what you're doing is you're having all individual ads that have specific copies and headlines and creatives attached to them. Now what we do for split testing is we're basically going to use a little bit of a dynamic split. So the new way is we're going to go and do a campaign. We're going to have one creative, so creative 1. And then in that creative, you can do this on Meta. We basically will add, so we'll add copies 1 through 5, all to that same ad. And then we'll have headlines 1 through 5, all on that same ad. So what we've actually done is we've created a massive combination of ads, 25 to be specific on this one, okay? We have one creative, we have one creative multiplied by 5 copies, multiplied by 5 headlines. That would be an opportunity of 25 unique possible combinations on the ad, okay? But this is actually still just one ad. Now, what we do is we basically just attach all the copies to that ad, all the headlines to that ad. And now all of a sudden, instead of having one split test, when having all these individual ads, we're able to do a ton of testing with different copies and different headlines, all within one central ad. And this allows us to test, number one, much faster because we're allowing the advertising platform to do the split testing. We're not trying to be smarter than the advertising platform by having all these individual ads with very specific copy, very specific headlines. Like, no, dude, those days are gone. What you want to do now is you want to just give it a handful of creatives, give all those creatives the respective copies, give all those creatives the respective headlines. And now all of a sudden you're just giving Meta and these platforms a massive amount of data per ad to go out and serve the right combination to the right person. And that's really all you're doing here. So if you have, from the example above, if you have 25 combos, what that means is that Facebook and Meta can then start to combine the ad together in different ways and serve the most relevant ad with the relevant copy and headline to the avatar that best matches that. Because remember, guys, that Meta has 52,000 data points per user. They also have access to Amazon Web Services data and Netflix's data, plus more, to be fair. So what's happening is they know who to best serve the ad to. So we don't want to try to oversmart them or outthink them. We just want to give them a bunch of data, a bunch of copies, a bunch of headlines, handfuls of creatives. And then we want to let them take these combinations and then go out and find the solution-oriented people. And they know, because like, as an example, okay, if somebody, like if you're doing like maybe like a chiropractic offer per se, and you have someone that is on Amazon looking up like a back roller for neck pain, they're smart enough to then realize they're actively searching for that stuff. And then they'll start showing the chiropractic offer to that person next time they're on Instagram or Facebook. It really is that smart. And so the more combinations that you can give, so you want to have max combinations. Max combinations. And by doing so, what you're going to do is you're going to give the platform more data. And then more data equals more conversions. and leads and opt-ins and bookings, right? The more data you give, the more ability the platform has to serve the right ad to the right person. Now, here's some good wrap-up questions for you to ask. If any of this is resonating, again, I'll leave some links below to have a deeper conversation with someone on our team, and we're happy to discuss and even do a free consult with you to see if maybe you're possibly leaving some of this opportunity on the table. And if we can help you at a deeper level, that's awesome too. If not, we're happy to help on the call and just give you some ideas on what to do next. So here's some last questions that you should be asking yourself. Number one, what is my ad volume? And when I say ad volume, I'm talking about, are you running a lot of different creatives with a lot of different copies and a lot of headlines? Are you doing just one creative, one copy, one headline? What is my ad volume, hence my combos? How many combos possible do I have laid out with my ads? Okay. If you're currently doing less than 20 and you're spending more than 5K a month, then you're leaving money on the table. If you're spending less than 5K a month, you might be able to get away with less than 20, but 20 is a good benchmark per campaign as far as creatives. The next thing is, are we understanding the winners? Okay, so when we look at the winners, we want to know what ads are doing well, not so that we can run the same ad over and over and over, but so we can take that ad, put it back into AI and say, hey, add this to your knowledge. Here's a list of all my winning ads. I want you to build and replicate these ads with different messaging so that not to repeat themselves. So winners, they don't get used again, but they're kind of used as a benchmark for new creatives. So use them to create the new ads without exactly copying. So meaning that you're not using the exact script, but as an example, let's say that you're doing laser lipo and you had one of your avatars and ads that you were running was to moms who want to lose that stubborn postpartum fat. Well, now you might say, wow, dude, that mom ad really did well. Let's do more ads that relate to moms and then actually look at all the different emotional triggers and different angles in which we can talk about our offer to those moms. So you're using the winners to come up with new ads without copying. And ultimately, that's just going to be new angles more than anything. And as a result of doing all this, you should see the following outcomes. Number one, better CPA, better cost per action, whether that's a book call, whether that's a lead, but you should see a better CPA. Number two, you should see campaigns last longer. Okay, your campaigns will last longer, which means less fatigue. Less fatigue is good because that means that you have to do less work to keep the ads profitable long term. And ultimately, the final thing is you should see high quality buyers, because with all of these new updates and all these creative combinations, Meta is then serving the ad that's most relevant to the person to them. So they feel like it's for them. So you should see more buyers and less objections on your actual sales presentation or sales protocol. But at the end of the day, what really matters, number one, is volume of testing. Number two is quality of context. Okay, so what context are we giving the bot? Which ultimately leads to learning velocity. Okay, faster it learns, the faster it gets better results, the faster you make more money with your advertising campaign. These three things are all enhanced with AI. Use them to your maximum advantage. You can do more testing, you can run more creatives, you can come up with full campaign designs in a matter of minutes by leveraging the tools that are available to us right now in real time. And so guys, I hope it was valuable. If it resonated at all, make sure you hit subscribe. We're putting out 2 videos a week talking about scaling clinics with online advertising and marketing, sharing all the best practices that we learn running a real-time agency serving clients all over the country. So if you guys have any questions on this or you want to chat with our team, I'll leave a link below. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Until then.